Ah, there we go. If all is well, everyone should be hearing sound. And now comes the terrible wait until the chat can confirm what happens. Very good. I apologize for this happening. It was unfortunately a small technical glitch because of updating my streaming software. If you're unable to hear me, please tell people to refresh. So, hello, I am Nimja, and this is Nimja Live 2016, and with the theme creativity. Now, if all is well, it should be good now. Now, is everyone in a comfortable position? Hello, everyone. Now, I hope that any latecomers have already come in. If anyone comes in later, then they'll just have to be patient. Anyone who's not participating in the trance, please keep the chat as quiet as possible. Once we get to the question answering, then you can talk freely. And are you all ready to begin? Very well. Now, like I said, the theme is creativity. The idea of today is to get your creative juices flowing, to make you more creative and more able to enjoy your creativity. This is about creativity, about helping you to think of new ideas and new ways to do existing ideas. And a lot of people think that there is a secret or a special way to become more creative. And really there isn't. In many ways you are already creative. You just don't realize it when you are. You think of many things during a day that require a bit of creativity. What will you eat? What will you wear? So, I'm going to teach you a little game that may help you feel more creative, discover the creativity that you actually have inside. There are a lot of ways to do this. So for now, just close your eyes. Let yourself relax and listen. We're going to the part of your mind that's responsible for dreams and ideas. We're going on a journey to discover the part of your mind that enjoys thinking of new things. So just relax and close your eyes. Just take a deep, warm breath and relax. Now, first of all, it helps if you know that there are some simple games that you can do to help yourself be more creative. Many word games and a lot of children's games are based on the idea of creativity. And all you have to do is use them. All you have to do is play them. But the most important thing, the very most important thing that hinders creativity is judgment. See, it's easy to judge and reject an idea. It's incredibly easy to have an idea and think, that won't work. So, instead, try to embrace crazy ideas or silly ideas. Try to embrace the strangeness in your mind that helps you being creative. So as your eyes are closed, you're almost ready to dream. You're ready to embrace the strange things in your mind that can spiral through your subconscious and dive deeper into your mind. There are all kinds of things going on in your mind right now. There are so many things, physical, mental, feelings, ideas, and they're all okay. They're all perfectly acceptable. And once you accept that, once you embrace even the strange and the bizarre in your mind, there will be no end to your creativity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you very deep and then give you an idea, a very simple idea. And your mind can run with it, can play with it, can do whatever it wants with it. All I've done is allow your mind to accept the strange, to embrace the weirdness. And the more you embrace it, the more crazy your ideas may become. And who knows what you'll think of next. So it's okay. Just listen. It'll be a while before you really have to do something. So for now, just let me count you down. From 10, letting yourself relax so very nicely, to 9, going deeper and deeper. 8, no more thoughts. 7, just listening. 6, not needing to think. 5, just taking a deep breath in and letting it all out. 4, no more thought. 3, so relaxed. 2, 1, drop. And right now you're just in a sweet place of emptiness, in a wonderful place with no need for thinking. And because you don't have to think, you won't judge either. Any idea that you'll have, you'll allow to happen. Any idea that your brain will come up with, any thought, any direction is acceptable. It can be dark, it can be light. It can be nice, it can be naughty. It can be incredibly complex or extremely simple. No two people are the same, so no two ideas will be the same. That is the beauty of creativity. Even if you ask two people to draw a house, they'll draw different houses. So embrace your difference. Allow yourself to accept the bizarre in your mind and the strange that can sprout inside. And I told you that I'd give you an idea, something to build upon, a foundation for a dream. Would you like me to? Would you like me to give you an idea that will build a dream? Keep in mind, though, that all I do is I'm giving you the basis. All the rest, everything you see and feel, is you. You contain galaxies and raindrops, simple things and beautiful things, complex things and so much more. So all I'm going to do is give you an idea. And the idea is simple. Light. Just one word. One word with so many feelings and meanings, and your mind is already building, spreading. Light. And while your mind dreams, while your mind builds ideas upon idea on a simple word, I allow you to see what is happening. Do you see that your mind has grown a world around a simple word? That your mind has constructed a dream around an undefined concept? And you'd like to feel even more, wouldn't you? So drop deep. And when I say the word again, let your mind go wild, light. It's all you, your mind, your imagination, your dreams and realities, your wonders. As you dream through infinite possibilities, you realize that you have more creativity than you'd ever thought possible. And it's okay. As your mind recovers from creating a whole world, starting a story without me even having to tell you to, you realize that the spark is always there. And sometimes all it does Sometimes all it needs is just a little push. There are many, many ways to do this. There are different games, different ways to get inspiration. So I will tell you of one of them, a very simple one that you can remember. It's a game that many may have played as a child. You start with a random word, maybe something that you can see, like screen. And then you take the last letter of that word and think of another word that starts with that letter. And from a screen, we go to noodles. It doesn't matter if it's an object or an animal, if it's future or past. Just let yourself go from one word to the other. And once you have a few words, challenge yourself to connect them. How are screen and noodles connected? Maybe it's a screen showing selections of noodles. Who knows? The point of the game is to have fun, to enjoy the strange randomness that's all over the world. Because there is never a lack of inspiration if you dare to accept the strange and bizarre. The tiniest thing around you can be an inspiration. And every moment in your life can be the source of something new. And the more you embrace your own strangeness, the more you accept the bizarre thoughts and dreams that your mind is capable of, the more creative you become. Don't let yourself reject any ideas completely. First, allow the idea to exist. You can always reject it later if you want to, or build something on top of it. Those castles in the sky don't grow, they are built. Build on dreams, on desires, on ideas, and creativity. And your mind is capable of so much more, more than you could ever possibly think. Even when you think that you're creative, there's always something new to surprise you. And that is the delicious adventure, the dream that everyone can have. And the other thing to remember is to accept mistakes. See, things happen, and from every mistake you learn. For every creative idea that doesn't pan out, you can have 1,000 more. So just keep going and embrace your creativity. Allow yourself to spiral out of control sometimes and enjoy all the strange, wonderful things in your mind. Now, in a moment, I'm going to count you back up. And as I do, you'll find that your mind is still bubbling with creativity. There's still all these thoughts, words connecting. 1, 2, slowly rising. 3, 4, more aware. 5, 6, very creative. 7, 8, almost awake. And 9, 10, wake. And welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that all. Well, that's what happens with creativity. You never know what you're gonna get. Of course, there was always a danger that everyone would start thinking of noodles. Oh, and don't worry. The session part of the live event always is released as a separate MP3. Now, I hope you don't mind that this session today is a little bit shorter than the other live sessions. Shadow RP asks, how long is this going to be? Well, normally the whole live session is 1.5 hours, where the latter part is Q&A, so we might as well start the question and answering. I'm sure I'll get some very surprising questions today. Nova Shadowfeather asks, are you using OBS? Yes, I am using OBS Studio. CJ Taker Girl asks, why are there so many sexual images going through people's minds? Probably because I make a lot of naughty files, so my voice is associated for them. Georgina asks, new haircut? Well, yes, my hair does need to be cut every now and then. Hannah asks, have you finished Undertale yet? No, I have not had time. I've been busy with Fallout 4. Emily asks, do you record your files in one sitting? Every file is recorded in one session, yes. Georgina asks, have you read the Inheritance Cycle yet? I have not. Her Butler Gothic asks, have you seen the new Jungle movie yet? I have not, although I've heard Ka is a lot more sexy this time. Liz asks, did you like the Cards Against Humanity pack we made? Yeah, it was alright. Larissa asks, do you have any hypnopets online or where you are? And if so online, I would like to be one. I can't really answer that question easily. Sladio asks, are you going to make a hypnosis video about how to deal with loss? Yes, it's actually been on my to-do list. Hannah Houston asks, what is your current favorite song? I don't know. I still quite like Iris from the Goo Goo Dolls. Darky asks, how do you like Fallout? It's Fallout. It's a very good sandbox RPG. Better than Fallout 3, actually. Chimera asks, what is your view on steampunk? Awesome. CJ Taker Girl asks, so you recorded total relaxation in one sitting? Well, in one evening, yes, but it did require some cutting. PJ Sparkle asks, why was everyone thinking about noodles? Because I mentioned that. Liz wants to think about Oreos again. Nova Shadowfeather asks, opinion on robotics? Inevitable. Her Butler Gothic asks, have you considered ASMR? I have several whisper recordings. Georgina asks, do you know a nerdy language? Yes, English. But no fantasy languages. Shadow forgets to ask with a question mark, what made you want to do erotic hypothesis? I think you mean hypnosis. Well, I like all forms of hypnosis, not just erotic. Emily asks, do you record your files on the same day you upload them? I did this in the past. I record them a week ahead currently. Eight Knives asks, have you ever done a multilingual session? I have. It's actually not that nice. It can be used for confusion, but it's very hard to do. Crybaby asks, how many tries does it take to record? Well, as you can see on the live event, 1. Most files are recorded in one take with just some minor cutting. The Queen of the Weebs asks, do you eat bananas? Sometimes. Larissa asks, do you know the singer Avril Lavigne and what do you think of her? She has some good songs actually. CG Taker Girl asks, have you heard of baby metal? I have not. That sounds weird. Hannah Houston asks, would you ever consider learning a nerdy language? No, I am too busy. Georgina Rice asks, have you ever LARPed? And if so, was it fun and what was it about? I have. Actually, being a player is much less fun than being a monster. Nova Shadowfeather asks, least favorite branch of mathematics? Trigonometry. Although it is the more useful one, but it's really hard. Lazier Bit asks, how are you today? I'm fine, thank you. Chimera asks, favorite species of birds? Raven. Probably because of a poem. Candace asks, I'm curious, would you read a script sent in by someone? I would read it, but I wouldn't record it, probably. Crabbaby asks, what's your favorite kind of muffin? Vanilla. Shadow RP asks, what's your music artist? Nimja. Her Butler Gothic asks, have you ever seen Labyrinth? I have, including those pants. Scott Lovato asks, what are some hobbies that you do in your downtime? Gaming, reading, movies, some series. Ellie asks, to be or not to be? Be, obviously. Sledjo asks, what is your favorite hypnosis video you've ever done? Probably some of the Factoid files, although the Bimbo Beauty Salon was quite satisfying. The Queen of the Weeps asks, how to ask a guy out? In person. Georgina asks, if you could be one of the Fae folk, what would you be? Probably a satyr. Larissa asks, have you seen The Dark Crystal? Yes, it is an amazing movie. It's old but awesome. Liz asks, cuddles or snuggles? Both. Crybaby asks, do you like creepypastas? No, I prefer my pasta al dente. And yes, I do enjoy some creepypasta. Nova asks, have you ever done vanilla sex? I try to keep food out of sex. But yes, I've also had normal relationships. Caitlin asks, what makes each hypnosis file satisfying for you? That's a very good question. Satisfying is if I feel that the file has a clear purpose and fulfills that. Darky asks, can we have cuddles? Maybe. Georgina Rice asks, do you have any phobias? No, I do not have any phobias as such. However, I do have some trouble with small bugs because my skin is very sensitive. Emily asks, are you right or left-handed? I am right-handed, although fairly ambidextrous. Sledger asks, any advice on how to deal with the loss of a friend? Loss happens. It is an unfortunate part of life. What is your favorite... Shadow RP asks, what is your favorite creepypasta? Creepy-chan. Nova Shadowfather asks, opinion on psionics. Completely OP in most Dungeons & Dragons. Liz asks, can you show us your bike? No, I cannot, because like normal people, I don't keep it in my room. The Queen of the Weeps asks, how can I find out if a guy likes me? Ask. CJ Take a Girl asks, in total relaxation, how does tensing the muscles help you relax more? It's actually a very common thing. If you tense muscles, then the relaxation afterwards is more relaxing. Hannah Houston asks, what books have you been reading lately? Actually, I've been working my way through the Tom Holt series, or all the books that Tom Holt has written. Sorry. Sledger asks, favorite foods? Spinach and chicken. Not necessarily together. Shadow RP asks, do you like Pokemon? I mean, it's a good game series, but I don't enjoy playing it that much. Chimera asks, have you read anything of Homestuck? Yes, I have, but not that much. Nova Shadowfather asks, how do you take home groceries on a bike? Bags or backpack. Georgina asks, weapon of choice. No modern weapons. Then obviously a katana. Herbotla Gothic asks, next month I'm stopping in the Netherlands before going to England. Can I see you? Yes, if you're in Amsterdam specifically, I'm okay for meeting up in town. Tira asks, will you ever do a vlog? No, I will not. Well, except for Nimja Live, obviously. The Oubliette, who is probably from France, asks, where's your accent from? From the Netherlands. Crybaby asks, do you like Ultra Hypnosis? Yeah, I think he's a cool guy. CG Taco Girl asks, have you read any Stephen King books or have you seen any of the movie adaptations? Yes, I've seen quite a few of the movie adaptations. I have tried to read one of his books, but his style of writing does not fit my style of reading very well. I prefer light-hearted writing like Douglas Adams or Terry Pratchett. Sherapi asks, dagger or demon pet? Dagger. Demon pets can be very stubborn. Darky asks, would you own a katana if you could? Probably. I actually have a sword, which is a Viking sword. Georgina asks, do you believe in the paranormal? Only insofar as it is supported by science. Hannah Houston asks, are you really a Bakaneko? I don't think so. Scott Lovato asks, what's your zodiac sign? I am a Capricorn. Silver Cobra asks, cats or dogs? For owning cats, but dogs are more fun to play with. The Queen of Zweeps asks, can you say Eoa? PJ Sparkle asks, who are you flogging? No one currently. 8 Knives interestingly asks, do you ever feel like your personality changes when you switch languages? A little bit. I feel more comfortable doing hypnosis in English. It sounds nicer. Crybaby asks, do you like Alice in Wonderland? Yeah. Speaking of light-hearted writings, do you ever read books about animals? Well, yes and no. I've read Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Shadowrappy asks, death or immortal? I think being immortal would be very interesting, but only insofar as there's also a get out of sickness card. Hannah Houston asks, show us your sword. No, I will not. Emily asks, one thing we don't know about you. Oh, there are so many. But it's more fun to let you ask. CJ Taker Girl asks, have you seen Batman vs Superman? I have not yet, but it's on my list. Georgina Rice asks, have you read Pride and Prejudice? No, I've seen it once, long time ago. Nova Shadowfeather asks, what kind of sword is the Viking sword? Just Google it, it's easier. It's a one-handed short sword, basically. The Queen of the Weeps asks, what do you like about girls? Well, the Queen, what do you like about boys? I mean, they're softer and generally more curvy than men. Tira asks, how do you feel about bronies? I'm okay with people liking anything, but I think the name is just as silly as Trekkies. Crybaby asks, ducks or llamas? Well, llamas are more awesome, especially if they have hats. Darky asks, vampire or werewolf? Well, if we go by the underworld world, then werewolves are significantly more awesome than vampires. Sherapi asks, what is any tip on moving to the Netherlands from England or just in general? Well, everyone here does speak English. It is good to sort of get yourself familiar with some of the more basic words. Liz asks, can I come over and Disney and trance? I don't know. Georgina asks, favorite Disney classic movie? Actually, my favorite animated movie would be The Prince of Egypt, because of the scope and some very cool visual storytelling. If we go purely by Disney, probably Belle and the Beast, because of Gaston. He's hilarious. Carl! Yes, someone got my llamas with hat reference. The Queen of Zweeps asks, what is your name? Obviously Nimja. I'm not telling you my real name. Hannah Houston asks, favorite horror film? Actually, I prefer thriller over horror. But if we go by bloody and gory, either Brain Dead or Battle Royale. Georgina asks, could you please say something in Dutch for us? Ja, dat kan ik. Oh, and I can say knuffelweide. I'm not going to translate it. Try and find it if you can. Liz asks, can I be your playful kitty? I'm sure you can. Shadow asks, do you like The Legend of Zelda? Yes, I actually prefer Zelda to Final Fantasy. To begin with, the name Final Fantasy contradicts itself. And I don't know, I grew up on Nintendo. Chimera asks, if you had to become / replace a Disney character as non-human, who? The dragon from How to Train a Dragon. But it's not a Disney movie. Damn. Nova asks, do you like experimenting on people? Well, yes. Larissa asks, have you seen any of the Scream films? I have. They're actually a pretty good parody on the horror genre. Georgina asks, have you heard of Jack the Ripper? Yes. Her butler Gothic asks, sprechen Sie Deutsch? Ja, ich spreche Deutsch, aber ich bin nicht so gut. Crybaby asks, do you like FNAF 4? I don't know. FNAF? Shauna asks, do you try your ideas on live subjects before recording them? Sometimes. Hannah Houston asks, is this the real life? Or is this a fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Sweet Slaver Girl asks, do you like girls with curves or skinny? Both. The thing is, it's more about how you carry yourself than what your weight is. Although I do strongly feel that if you are so overweight that it harms your health, then that is not pretty. Shadow RP asks, Navi or Tail? I will go with Navi, but they're both annoying. Crybaby asks, who's better, the Joker or Deadpool? That is not a good comparison. Her butler Gothic asks, have you played or heard of the Persona games? I've heard of them, I have not played them. Oh, FNAF is Five Nights at Freddy's. I have not played them. Jordina asks, are you a feminist? No, I'm an equalist. I think modern feminism is a little bit far away from the people who have fought for the rights of women. Hannah Houston asks, could you sing the lyrics you quoted earlier? I cannot, because that'll get me in copyright problems. Scott Lovato asks, RMS Titanic or Titanic movie? Merman or mermaids? Well, I would be a merman, obviously. My voice is too deep to become a woman. Larissa asks, have you heard of the game Second Life? I have. I've played it for all of 5 minutes because a game that was similar to Second Life was so much better. Eight Knives asks, kann ich Deutsch von Ihnen lernen? Mein Deutsch ist zu schlecht. Entschuldigen Eight Knives, but no, my Deutsch is not good enough to teach others. Sweet Slave Girl asks, what is your dream girl like? I will know that when I meet her. Liz asks, could you give me some advice for my mind goes dark places? It helps if you learn to accept it, and you can even use the darkness in your mind for creativity. Crybaby asks, ever have any copyright problems? Yes, the content tagging system in YouTube is driving me crazy. Hannah Houston asks, could you say something in Japanese? Watashi wa Nihongo ga wakarimasu demo mada jouzu ji arimasen. And let's see if... Emily asks, do you have an exact calculations of how many hours of recordings are on your site? That is a very good question. Currently I do not, but it should be relatively easy for me to get. Shadow RP asks, are you magical? I am not. Larissa asks, ducks or geese? I think it's first 2 ducks and then a goose. Hannah Houston asks, are you sure you aren't some sort of supernatural magical creature? I think I'm pretty sure. Nova Shadowfeather asks, favorite Dungeons & Dragons class? I quite enjoyed the druids, even though they're somewhat overpowered in here and there. Georgina asks, are you a supporter of the LGBT plus community? I wouldn't call myself a supporter, but they are fine. Shadow RP asks, how long have you been doing hypnosis? Probably close to 20 years. Liz Oreos asks, can you prove that you are the true Sir and not his demon alter ego? No. Gianfranco forgets to ask with a question mark, are you an Illuminati? Yes. Nova Shadowfeather asks, opinion on the Warhammer universe. It exists. Hannah Houston asks, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Well, about 4 metric tons a day. Georgina Rice asks, what scares you in fiction? I don't know. Strange question. Shadow RP asks, what's your favorite part of making hypnosis? Doing it. Sledio asks, how do you decide what video to do next? Randomness mostly, although sometimes I have an idea for a theme for a week. Owen asks, what is your favorite thing in life? It's hard to rank things that I enjoy. Like, I don't know if I would rank certain things a lot above other things, although my hypnosis and DS interactions are very important for me. Chimera asks, do you have a fear of needles? Not really. I mean, they make me uncomfortable because they're needles and the body doesn't like needles being put into the skin, generally. Silver Cobra asks, how often are you able to do one-on-one sessions? Not enough. Bum forgets to ask, have you tried any of your videos on yourself? No, they would not work either. Liz Orios asks, will you do a face reveal at 10k? Aren't I already revealing my face? Tira asks, are you going to do another snake file? Yes, maybe. Georgina asks, do you have any advice for people absolutely terrified to talk to you but really want to? I am not that scary. I'm more playful than scary as far as I know. But I'm also a very busy person. So forgive me if I don't answer you. Shadow asks, have you stolen my cookies? Not today. Hannah Houston asks, would you ever seriously consider doing a time paradox file? That could be interesting for a confusion idea. Larissa asks, do you like carrots? Yes, they're very tasty. Sweet Slave Girl asks, do you have personalized sessions? Well, I have one-on-one sessions. Rebuttal Gothic asks, Naruto or Inuyasha? I don't know. I don't think I've seen too much of Inuyasha to probably judge. Naruto is okay. There are much better anime series out there. Rebecca asks, would you fight one horse-sized duck or 10 duck-sized horses? I would fight one horse-sized duck because his legs would break. Hannah Houston asks, have you ever watched Soul Eater? I may have. Kamira asks, have you seen my head? Yes, it's on your head. Larissa asks, could you answer your next question with the snake voice? We'll see. Georgina asks, have you ever seen a West End musical? No. Nova Shadowvather asks, would you ever pilot a mech? Maybe if they ever solve the leg problem. Hannah Houston asks, have you ever seen Sweeney Todd? I have. It's awesome. Shadow asks, have you ever or want to do a demon and angel file hypnosis? Well, there's demonic corruption. Crybaby asks, do you like Black Butler? I don't know yet. I haven't seen it. It's on my list. Emily asks, will we ever get to see pictures of baby Nimja? Oh, I hope not. Now, today's session is going to be shorter than normal, so I'm going to end this in 4 minutes. Have you heard of Hamilton? In what context? Nova Shadowfeather asks, can you dance? Somewhat. Unfortunately, I haven't had enough dance lessons to dance properly. But I have the rhythm. Emily asks, what was your first word as a baby? I have no idea. Hannah Houston asks, have you been to Valhalla? Well, if I had, then I wouldn't be sitting here. The Oubliette asks, if you can be an animal, what would you be? Well, in water a dolphin, on land a monkey. Elias asks, what about picture of Son of Ninja? Nimja? No. Shadow asks, can you dance for us? No, I can't, I'm sitting down. Georgina Rice asks, favorite Greek god? Apollo. CJ Taker Girl asks, would you want to be a Jedi or a Sith Lord? I'd probably be somewhere in the middle. But closer to Jedi. Even though I have an awesome voice for being a Sith Lord. Wipe them out. All of them. Hannah Houston asks, do you like the Elder Scrolls series? Yes, I generally do. I think Skyrim was a good return to form, but Morrowind is still one of the better ones, especially story-wise. Lerza Pass asked, have you heard of the Blackadder series? Well, if I didn't, I would need a cunning plan to watch them. Crybaby asks, do you like Build-A-Bear? I have no idea what you're asking. Georgina asks, have you seen the Outlander series on Stars? I have not. Nova asks, favorite piece of clothing on a female? Dress. And the reason for that is that it's a very feminine piece of clothing and it provides easy access. Emily asks, do you prefer women with long or short hair? That doesn't really matter. Again, it really depends on how the woman carries it. I have no idea what Build-A-Bear is, though. Hannah Houston asks, quick, quote something from the last movie or book you watched/read. Well, the last book I read was from Tom Holt, and it was a very weird book, and I wouldn't be easily able to grab a quote from it. But I can do a random quote. Multiple exclamation marks, the sure sign of a diseased mind. Anyway, that is it for now. I'm sorry to cut today short. Next time we will have a longer live session again. Now I hope everyone had fun, and I also hope that the creativity will flow freely between you all. Thank you for being here. Oh, and I also want to thank all my Patreon supporters for continuing their support. It is thanks to them that these live streams are even possible. I almost forgot to thank them again. I am deeply sorry. So thank you, all my Patreon supporters. And for all the donations as well. Thank you. It has been immense fun. Bye for now.